Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here to the Chicagoland Speedway for race number 27 of the 2016 NASCAR Spring Up Series season. We are bringing you live coverage of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400, the first chase race of the playoffs for the NASCAR Spring Up Series. We are getting ready for a 27-lap race here at Chicago. 43 drivers line up on pit lane getting ready for the green flag, which will be coming their way in just a matter of moments. On the front row, the number 19 Aris Toyota of Carl Edwards will start on the pole in the Aris number 19 alongside the 14 of Tony Stewart, making his final start here at Chicago. As we jump back the road to the 88 Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Exalta Chevrolet, alongside the Miller Lite Ford of Brad Keselowski. And running out your top 5, the number 1 of Jamie McMurray alongside the 27 of Paul Menard. Last night, the NASCAR Xfinity Series race wrapped up with Ryan Blaney visiting Victory Lane. And now we're going to find out who will go to Victory Lane here tonight in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400 here from Chicago. Let's take you down trackside and get you the command to fire up the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
As all 43 drivers will fire up their engines and leave pit lane to begin their pace lap. Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart, your front row. And we'll be right back with a restart. Back live here at Chicago. At the top of your screen, you will see your starting grid rolling. That will allow you to see where your favorite driver is going to start in today's race. 16 drivers left running for the championship. 15 though today are racing to advance in the round 2 of the chase. One of them is the number 19 of Carl Edwards on the pole. Now remember, his teammate in the Xfinity Series, Daniel Suarez, won the pole, but he did not even start the race due to a mechanical problem on the pace lap, and we have just got word that that has happened again with the 43rd place starter Brett Moffitt. Brett Moffitt rolling out 43rd on the grid, unable to fire his engine, and he's already taken his car behind the wall. Tough break for Brett Moffitt. Edwards and Keselowski, the top 2 chase contenders, they come off turn number 4 to take the green flag here at Chicago. Tony Stewart, who is outside of Carl Edwards, to the line. We're underway here from Chicago. And the even start at the front. Edwards and Stewart side by side, racing down into turn 1, while the 22 Joe Logano makes it 3 wide in the 41 of Kurt Busch to make contact. Trevor Bayne out the track in turn 1. Bayne falls back now. Slows down the outside line, which is Kyle Busch, which is Austin Dillon, a couple of our chase contenders, and getting into turn 3, Eric Jones in the middle in that 11 car, and out of turn 4 is Edwards, Stewart, and Keselowski, your top 3 at the line. That was a great save by Trevor Bayne, but he lost a lot of positions right there on that first lap, now down to 24th after starting inside the top 10, and now you see the 54 of Eric Jones dropping like a rock on the outside lane as they're 3 wide ahead of them. Joe Logano on the inside, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the middle, Paul Menard up top, and they're 3 wide yet again behind him, and Kevin Harvick scraped the wall off turn 4. On the outside of Ryan Newman in that 31 is Kurt Busch. A great run right now by Ryan Newman in that 31 car, your Daytona 500 champion. But the top 3 have just broke away, and now here comes the 2 of Keselowski to take second away from Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart not running for the title this year, neither is Paul Menard, but Joe Logano, the only driver of the 16-driver chase who is solidly locked into round 2 of the title, or round 2 of the playoffs, because he was the point leader at the end of the regular season. So Logano is automatically locked in the spot in round 2 as he will complete the pass on Paul Menard. But Menard, and he does clear him. Now Kurt Busch on the inside of Dale Earnhardt Jr. behind Logano, and now they're 3 wide. Here comes Newman on the outside of McMurray while he's undertaken by Clint Bowyer, who's on the bottom off turn 4. There goes Bowyer by the 1 of McMurray. The 20 Matt Kenseth 3 wide back here. And he got sideways. There's Johnson and Casey Kane. They slide up the racetrack in turn number 1. Behind them, Kyle Busch in the 18, another chase driver with Martin Truex Jr. trying to work their way up. Truex had a bad qualifying run outside the top 30. Has now worked his way up right now inside the top 20 in that number 78 Toyota. Also, we like to give you some important news regarding the NASCAR Spring Up Series as we take a look at the front with Brad Keselowski trying to get that lead away from Carl Edwards. Beginning next weekend, the NASCAR Spring Up Series, beginning next weekend at New Hampshire, all races will only have 42 cars in each race instead of the normal 43 cars. Now, one of our drivers, Brett Moffitt, has already went behind the wall, as here comes Keselowski for the lead in the 2 car. So beginning in next weekend at New Hampshire, it will only be 42 car fields from now on. As Keselowski now on the inside of Carl Edwards, and he will take that top spot away with 21 to go off turn number 4. Now this is a very important battle right here, because if a chase driver were to win tonight, or to win today, not including Joey Logano, they would lock a spot in round 2 of the chase. So right now, I mean, Carl Edwards from winless in 2016, but a win today would be huge for that 19 car. On the outside is Brad Keselowski trying to keep that momentum wound up on the outside lane. They come off turn number 4. See Brad's finding a little bit of speed on the outside, but now here comes the 14 of Tony Stewart with a great run off turn 4. What a great run today by the 14 of Tony Stewart, who now takes a look at the lead with Joey Logano behind him in the 22. Rounding out your top 5 is Kurt Busch, then is Paul Menard, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Matt Kenseth. Your top 10, or Ryan Newman runs out your top 10. Then is Johnson, Casey Kane, Truex, Clint Bowyer, McMurray, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher in the 21, Eric Almirola, and Regan Smith. They make up your current top 20 right now with 18 laps remaining. Now here comes Logano for 3rd place on his teammate Brad Keselowski. 41, Kurt Busch, highest seed in the chase, entering this weekend with 4 wins in the first 26 races now. Has been one of the most consistent drivers throughout the entire year, and Kurt Busch looking very strong right now to possibly win a 2nd championship. And now, how about Paul Menard, 3 wide in the turn 1 now, but Menard not able to make anything happen on the 41 and the 2, and Busch completes the pass off turn number 2. One of the more faster cars on track is the 22 of Joey Logano. And he has caught the top 2, Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart. 16 to go now. Matt Kenseth got around Kevin Harvick. Here comes Ryan Newman to make the pass. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Clint Bowyer, Jamie McMurray, Truex, and Kyle Busch. Here's Chase Elliott, Almirola, Casey Kane falling back into 5. Denny Hamlin, that 11 car has struggled through it pretty much the entire weekend, and this is not the time to start struggling, and that's what Denny Hamlin has had. Same with Kyle Larson, same with AJ Allmendinger, and same with Austin Dillon. He's really struggled in the race, but he's been pretty solid throughout the entire weekend. And Stenhouse on the apron in that 17. On the inside of his teammate Trevor Bayne getting into turn 1. Casey Mears now 2 straight top 10 finishes for this number 13 Germain Racing Team. Mears 31st in points. That's pretty big for Mears, as it's really been a struggling year for that 13 car. As Allmendinger all on the back of that 13 of Mears. You have Eric Jones running for the Xfinity title and will be running full-time in the Cup Series next year. Elliott Sadler, Brian Scott, David Reagan, Michael McDowell, Allgaier, Castle, DiBenedetto, Bowman, Michael Annett, Armstrong, and Joey Gase. Logano's gotten around Tony Stewart, but so has Kurt Busch and Keselowski. So now it's chase drivers 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, with Edwards trying to pull away from the 22 Logano. All 42 cars are on the lead lap. One driver out the race, Brett Moffitt in a 34 car, and now Joey Gase on the inside of Dakota Armstrong. They're running for last place right now on track. And we had already passed the halfway point in this race. 15 laps are now in the books. Another car who seems to be on the move is the 20, Matt Kenseth. The DeWalt Tools Toyota Camry. And you have Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, and Ryan Newman, chase drivers, running out your top 10. Right now, 4 drivers will be eliminated from the chase in a couple of weeks after Dover. And right now, the bottom 4 chase drivers in this race are Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and I believe the 5 of Casey Kane. They scratch out the 47 of AJ Allmendinger's back here as well. So a lot of our chase drivers are struggling well. At the same time, a lot of them are dominating up front. Here comes Joey Logano on the inside, 10 to go at Chicago. Edwards on the outside, Logano on the inside, entering turn number 1. Logano already knows he is in round 2 of the chase, but he still wants to win. He has 3 wins entering this weekend at Chicago, looking for win number 4 as here comes the 41, Kurt Busch. A 5th win, right up ahead of the 41 car should he complete the pass on the 19 of Carl Edwards. Rounding out your top 5 now is Paul Menard. Tony Stewart has now filled to 7th place. They're 3 wide ahead. Here comes Keselowski. Trying to get a little bit lower than Kurt Busch getting into turn 1. Back here, Kyle Busch right behind the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. Clint Boyer going by the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. McMurray, Elliott, Almirola, Casey Kane, Smith, and Chris Buescher, your top 20. 8 laps remaining here at Chicago. Now Edwards trying to get back by the 41 of Kurt Busch. But it's all Joey Logano at the front of the field in the 22 AAA Ford Fusion for Team Penske. And they remain side by side for second. Kurt Busch and Carl Edwards side by side going down in the turn number 1. Brad Keselowski behind the 19 of Edwards. And there are some points around this track as the 2 and the 19 get pretty close together in turn 1. There are places around this track where the inside line is more preferred than the outside. And on the opposite end, the outside seems to pay off a little bit more, and that's what we're seeing it right now. The 41 gets a great run off the corner, and this is what the 22 wants to see, while Paul Menard goes to the inside of the 2 of Keselowski. What a great run by the 27 of Paul Menard. That's Newman now moves to the inside of Johnson in the 48. Wow, 2 of the RCR cars are running very well today. Paul Menard and Ryan Newman. The other 2, Austin Dillon and Brian Scott, are struggling right now, as Busch has gotten away from the 19 and the 2 for a little bit. Can he chase down the 22 of Joey Logano? Last time by, Kurt Busch was a lot quicker than the 22 once he got away from the 19 and the 2 car. And up ahead are some lap traffic, Dakota Armstrong and Joey Gase. Now remember, Dakota Armstrong held up Clint Boyer, a fast car, in the Xfinity race yesterday. Will we see something similar here today? And Logano gets stuck in behind Joey Gase. That ruins the 22's momentum. And look at the time Kurt Busch gained, all on the back bumper of Joey Logano, getting through turn 1. Logano gets the pass on the inside of the 26 pretty easily now, but here comes the 41. Busch back in the game now, in the turn 3. They'll be coming around, be 3 to go. This time by for the 22 of Joey Logano. Next up to go a lap down, the 46 of Michael Annett, and they may catch him in these 3 laps as Kenseth now on the inside of Keselowski. Tony Stewart, Paul Menard stuck in behind the 32 of Joey Gase. Down the back straightaway, and Busch all on a back bumper, giving the 22 a lot of pressure in the turn 3. Here comes the 22 of Joey Logano off turn number 4. 2 to go. Can he hang on? Can Kurt Busch punch his ticket into round 2 of the chase? Kurt waiting for that 22 to make a mistake right there. Logano gets in the inside lane a little bit, but Logano gets a pretty good launch off the corner. Now they catch the 46 of Michael Annett. Annett gives away. That may be what it takes for Logano to hang on. Carl Edwards in third. Kenseth and Keselowski rounds out your top 5. Chase drivers, your top 5 as we take the white flag, and Logano has a big lead on the 41 now. Kenseth now on the inside of Carl Edwards for third. Joey Logano has 3 wins in 2016. Entered this weekend already knowing that he'll be in round 2 of the chase. And making his way through turns 3 and 4, he does not want to let anybody punch his ticket just yet. In round number 2, he comes out the final corner into the tribal, and Joey Logano will win at Chicagoland Speedway. Coming up second, the 41 of Kurt Busch, a great point today for the 41, the 19 of Edwards, the 20 of Kenseth, and the 2 of Brad Keselowski, your top 5. And they are going to be sitting pretty good entering the next 2 races in round 1, New Hampshire and Dover. While Tony Stewart, Paul Menard, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and Kevin Harvick, your top 10. Kyle Busch, Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Chase Elliott, your top 15 after today's race here from Chicago. So race number 1 of the chase is in the books, and it's won by the 22 of Joey Logano. On your screen, your results of any point standings after this weekend's race. That is on your screen right now. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of chase race number 1, and the next stop in the Cup Series schedule is New Hampshire. That is next weekend here at the Magic Mile on this channel, so be on the lookout for race number 2 of the chase for the NASCAR Spring Up Series. Joey Logano wins race number 4 of the year and ties Kurt Busch for all time in 2016, but will somebody change that at New Hampshire? We'll find out next weekend. I'm Ed Burton here at the broadcast booth, and we'll see you next weekend at New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.